But what I regret is that I think the notion of Yiddish culture just being one of newspapers, writing, teaching, singing, music, ignores the fact that the culture of the shtetl, this culture of the family, the culture of the community, is really as much a part of the entire wave of Jewish identity which swept over into this country from the Bund in Russia to become the head of the unions in this country. What kept Franklin Roosevelt elected time after time were union leaders. Dubinsky, the head of the International Garment Workers Union. Petufsky, the head of the Amalgamated Clothing Workers Union. Alex Rose, the head of the Captain Military Workers Union. These were expressions of a wave of attitude. I don't think I could even talk about this too well to my own grandson. I don't think he would understand it. And that troubles me. And the fact that, of course, in one of my essays on Shalom Aleichem, I quote one of the critics who said that a story that a man walked up to Shalom Aleichem personally one day in Europe, still in Europe, and said to him, and kissed his hand, and said, "Thank you because you have made our bitterness more sweet." But that implies only a trace, a solace. And I'm saying it's much more than a solace. The business of Jewish food and Jewish tradition, I take great pleasure in the fact when my daughter says to me about an attitude, an act of social behavior or political behavior, and she's not fluent in Yiddish. And she says to me simply, "That's not Jewish." Now that to me encapsulates a very large world, which didn't just come from the Torah. That's the point I'm making. I love the Torah studies and I enjoy doing it. But it also came from another shaping which grew out of the ethos even of the town, the neighbor. This is Ashanda. I was talking to one of my printers years ago, and I said something about we might cheat on this proof and maybe fudge the color a little bit. And he said to me, "Es passt nicht." And he was not Yiddish speaking, but it meant that he'd heard his mother and father say often, "It is not proper. It is not appropriate." These are ethical notes which were heard around the table, which were heard around the kitchen table more often. So to me, it's a whole panoply, which of course the Book Center and its translators and its making availability of the great stories, and more recently, my own research on women Yiddish poets, Jewish poets. I spoke to Catherine Hallerstein the other day. Her new book from Stanford is 500 Years of Women Yiddish Poets. So there's a lot to be gleaned from all of that. And that gleaning did not just come, I guess the point I'm making, didn't just come from the Holy Book. It came from the reading books, and it also came from those who couldn't read, but were wrapped into the Yiddish. The Bintel Brief, when Abe Kahn would answer letters in the Yiddish forward, it wasn't just an advice to the lovelorn. It was again modes of attitude and behavior.